Hey, what's up? I hope you're having a great day today. If you're a music producer, a recording artist, or a songwriter pitching for sync, you know how important it is to have a great session singer on short call. Or 2, or 3, or 5, or 10. What about
25?
Today, my friend, we're checking out ReSing, the brand new plugin by IK Multimedia. Let's go check it out. I'm Jorge Lanzasing now. We break it down, baby. Alright, my friend, thank you so much for being here once again in another video. And as usual, remember to like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube so that you and I can stay in touch with each other. In modern production, I feel like vocals is one of the hardest things to get. Just think about it, like physiologically, we all just have one. I mean, honestly, some people have way more than one. But for the rest of us, when we sing, we might change a little bit of how it sounds, like the timbre or like something about it, even if we're really trying to change. Mostly what we are changing is the intention behind our voice. But the voice stays the same. And it doesn't matter if you're singing over here or if you're singing over here. The things that make your voice
are always there.
Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a music producer, and a lot of the work that I do has to do with vocals. Certainly one of the things that I enjoy the most, and more often than not, I end up putting a lot of my vocals behind a track just to like give it a little oomph. And in my case, I have a voice that is like very distinctive with a very pronounced mid-range. Some people find it annoying, and some people love it, but that's besides the point. All I'm trying to say is that sometimes I need more voices than just mine, and it's not easy to just have anybody just come to your house and record a short call and just like be there for you. Enter ReSing by IK Multimedia, an offline AI-assisted vocal modeler for professionals. Your voice reimagined. So, this would be the perfect time for you to go get a great set of headphones, speakers, AirPods, whatever you feel comfortable listening to music so that we can have a meaningful conversation in the comment section down below. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so here we are on my computer, and as you can see, I have loaded up an instance of ReSing by IK Multimedia. Okay, so this would be the perfect moment for me to tell you that IK Multimedia sent me this plugin directly for me to check it out. No money exchanged hands, and they have absolutely no input in this video at all. So all thoughts and opinions are mine and my own. Alright, let's check this out. So as you can see, we have the default loaded model called Jenny. So let's hear what Jenny's gonna have to be dealing with.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear your knock on my door. My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
So for that section, I do have this little double that at the moment I have muted that goes like this.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear your knock on my door. My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
So as you can see, it's a little like careless and the tuning is a little bit off, but that doesn't really matter. The only reason why I sang that one is because I wanted to hear what ReSing can do replacing that vocal. So let's hear what it can do. So the way ReSing works, even though it's loaded directly in the channel, it's not like autotune in the sense that you're not going to load it up in the channel and get any sound replacement from it directly. It works using ARA technologies, audio or random access. So you do have to load the files in. It's pretty easy. And even in Pro Tools, that it used to be like kind of hard to do this kind of things, it's not that hard anymore. So let's just load it right here. And all you need to do is like right here in this center section that says choose a file or drag it here. What I like to do is I just drag it directly, poof. And right there, it loaded into its own memory so that we can actually tweak it. Pro tip! So the first pro tip of the day, my friend, is going to be that every time you're using ReSing, I like to start by having my settings pre-selected already in line to my expectations of what I want the plugin to do. What do I mean? For example, when you come right here and you see that there's a character section, do you want it to be lively? Do you want it to be energetic? Do you want it to be smooth or mellow? Selected right now. In this case, for this area, I think I'm going to go with smooth. Then in the dynamic section, you can choose source or flat. And basically what that means is that if you choose source, it's going to have like, I don't know, different velocities, so to speak. But the second you go to flat, it's like you grab all those velocities and like flatten them upward, effectively staying pretty much in like the highest dynamic range that you can have. Then right here in the accent area, very, very crucial. I like to use it straight up in the 100% model, at least for this kind of like replacement scenarios where I really don't want to hear my voice anymore because I am trying to get a double from somebody else with the part that I already sung for the lead vocal, right? And then on the bottom right corner, we have a little bit of a suite of effects that you are pretty much likely to use. For example, compression. And I like to put it, I don't know, like halfway there. this is the top and this is the bottom. So I'd like to go maybe like halfway. Then very important, tuning. So here in the tune module, you turn it on right here on the bottom, and then you select your key. In this case, I am on E flat major, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to keep it on the soft setting, but you have a medium and a hard as well. Also, super cool. Right here on the left, you have the contour. And we're going to tweak this when we load the vocal. So let's just load it in. Boom. Drag and drop. So this would be my raw vocal.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
And right now, this would be the model, Jenny.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Alright, that's pretty cool. Now let's go see what happens if we adjust our contour setting like I told you. Let's go all the way to area and see what happens.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
It's almost like it's got like an oral exciter at the very top. Listen to it again.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Now let's try to go all the way to the body.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
All the airiness is basically gone and it just feels like very chesty. Maybe for this section in the song, I'm going to keep it kind of like around here. Let's hear it.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
I think that sounds really, really nice. But what happens if we change the singer? So right here in our, I don't know, I'm going to call it the library button. You have all this selection of singers that you can use directly in your session. And you see there's a wide variety, even like cartoonish stuff. And the cool feature as well that you can turn your voice into an instrument. And I'm going to do that in a little bit. I just want to show you like the vast amount of things that you can actually do with this plugin. So just right there alone with the capabilities of doing all these kind of sounds by just like singing them. I, for one, make a lot of like voice notes and stuff like that. So this could be like very handy into turning my voice notes into actual sounds. But let's not get too distracted and let's get back to the vocal section. And I want to say maybe let's try, just for fun, let's start by loading this Emily, this cartoonish thing. It's funny how it says natural. It's not going to sound natural at all.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
It has like that little high formant situation. It's got like that little high formant shift, like, but I mean, it's cartoonish, right? Let's see what happens if we turn the air up a little bit.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
It sounds a lot better. What happens if we go to lively instead of smooth?
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
I mean, that's not bad at all. Let's check another model. Okay, maybe Bob right here. It says pop style voice with soul influences. I think that would be perfect for this part. Let's check it out.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Ooh, Bob sounds great. Let's hear it again.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Is it me or every time I hit preview it sounds better?
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Wow, Bob sounds really, really good. So what happens, for example, if I want to put Bob into a playlist and just like keep it just in case I want to use it. I'm going to go right here in Pro Tools, duplicate my main playlist. I'm going to call this Bob and I'm going to hit process right here.
Pro tip of the day.
And in today's second pro tip, I'm going to tell you when you're going to do this, first, you want to make sure that you have this clip starting on a grid note. I know, I forgot to tell you earlier, but now I'm telling you, before you go use ReSing, right? Because you don't have it in your computer right now, right? So anyway, whatever. Make sure that you are on a grid line so that then it's easier to do this when you have to replace it for the model. Boop, all done. Now let's hear what happens if I turn the plugin off.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Ooh, I love that little curl in the end compared to my original vocal.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
That little curl at the end. Right, my friend, I want you to go in the comment section down below right now and tell me, are you Team Jorge or are you Team Bob? Let me know. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And while you're there, remember to like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things I would like to do on YouTube. And enjoy this little bossa nova, my friend. I hope your day keeps getting better and better and better. All right, let's keep making some noise. Okay, so now that we have Bob right there, let's see, maybe I want to try a different model. I'm going to go back to my original take, open ReSing again. Then the AI engine starts again. And it's going to try to find a different model. We heard these. Let's try with Neil. See what's up.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Maybe let's do a Neil and see what's happening. Okay, now that we have a few males, I want to try a female vocal. Let's do Gabriela, even though it's in Spanish. I don't know, it might work. I speak Spanish.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Maybe the accent is a little bit too thick. Let's try a different one. But all that just shows you like how legit these things are. Let's try Tyrone.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door.
Wow. Okay, now when you do it with my vocal, it's a lot better. Let me get a Tyrone in there. All right, now that we have 3 models, let's see what happens if we just listen to them back to back. Let's start by listening to Bob.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door. My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
Not bad. Let's see Neo.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door. My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
I guess like the raspiness works pretty good. Now let's try Tyrone.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door. My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
And I know that the lack of timing there was driving some of you insane. So, pro tip. The third pro tip, I'm going to stop with that. That was just funny today. The third pro tip of the day, make sure that your vocals are tuned and aligned before you do this, okay? All right, but oh no, I want to say that maybe Tyrone was my favorite in this case. Okay, but now that we share that, I want to show you one of the ways that I'm actually going to use this plugin in this particular production for sure. It's right here. I have this couple little background vocals. Let me show them to you.
My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
But I feel like it doesn't have like the holy effect that I want to create. And I know that I'm just going to end up like cutting a bunch of other crowds and like changing my voice. But I would love to hear that with a different vocal that is not mine. So I'm going to start by doubling these tracks, just the active playlist and the inserts. And I am going to start by color coding them differently so I don't get too confused when I'm doing this.
You and holidays don't feel like holidays.
I really like it. And let's just hear it.
I'm hoping and praying that I'll hear you knock on my door. My life was so empty without you, and holidays don't feel like holidays.
I think that was a total success. But now, my friend, I'm going to show you the third thing that I feel like I'm going to be using ReSing. I told you earlier that you have the capability of turning your voice into instruments. Let's put that to the test. Okay, so I have right here this little part that I did. Sort of like a little, I thought about like a French horn type of sound. That is not ReSing, by the way. That is just how I sung it into the mic. Let's bring ReSing. Pretty nice. Let's see what happens if we try to change it for maybe a baritone sax. Wow, that sounds a lot like a sax. I love that the beginning of the note is like so sharp and perfect. I mean, that sounds really good. And even the way that it's processing the pitch. Let's try to hear a different instrument just for fun. Ooh, let's try the double bass. Wow, the plug is like flawless. Wow. MIDI has just become obsolete. All right, my friend. But on that note, let's go get a few conclusions. So there you have it, my friend. ReSing by my good friends of IK Multimedia. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that I was absolutely expecting the very bare minimum out of it. I've used some of these AI platforms online, you know, that they replace your vocals or they claim that they replace them, but most of them have like a very cumbersome way to work. Like you have to like sing in a different pitch if you want to make a female than if you want to make a male. And honestly, all I want to do is sing my song and have you replace the vocals with a different sound. And then long and behold, the old reliable IK Multimedia drops this amazing plugin that I can tell you right here, right now, I'm going to be using pretty much on every single song that I make. More than just to replace vocals and like to create this kind of like big sense of a choir
That I definitely enjoy doing.
I was absolutely floored with how good it sounded making the instruments out of my voice. And for somebody like me that it's like way easier to just like sing a part than having to go and find it in the keyboard or in a guitar, because everything I play, actually I do play by ear. If something makes noise and it's a musical sound, I'm gonna find a way to use it and turn it into a song. And if you remove that step out of the equation and I can just like literally sing parts and then replace the sound with an actual instrument, I am not kidding when I say this might be the end of MIDI. But whatever, my friend, I'm just rambling at this point. Honestly, ReSing, you have to go try it out. I was absolutely floored by how good the quality is. And I want to say, don't let yourself be fooled with the preview, because the quality when you actually process the sound and turn it into like a clip, it's way better than anything you were previewing. But that, my friend, has been a long enough video right now. If you stay till the very end, go type replace me in the comment section down below so that I know that you did and that you're a real one. But for anything else, my friend, if you just want to leave a comment, drop a suggestion, or just holla at your boy, go to the comment section down below. And while you're there, remember to like, subscribe. If you can financially support me, smash that super thanks button. I thank you so much. And if you have some more time to watch another video, my friend, go watch this one right here, and I'll be waiting for you right there. Right. See you soon.